What? What's with you? What the? Look.
To man, there has only been one thing to define us all, an evolutionary leap used by our most ancient ancestors. These things that have the power to restructure history itself, the collection of consonants that bring us together. These things are words.
What? What's with you? What the? Look at your sign!
What? What's wrong? What's going on?
I don't know!
What happened? What happened?
What's happening?
What's up, guys? I'm Alyssa, sophomore here at Hutch. Welcome to my crib. All right, come on in, guys. Here in the Arts AV house, we pride ourselves in being the best, so we show that we're the best. And these aren't just plaques on the wall, these are cash money prizes that you can win just from coming here to Hutch and learning everything you can learn in the Arts AV cluster. We've got so many right here. That's about $1,000, probably more. Mr. Johnson's gotten $800 just by himself, not counting all the students. All right, so now we're gonna go into the first room in the Arts AV cluster and my personal favorite spot, the control room. Let's head in there. All right, so in here we've got the latest, the greatest setup. And in case you guys didn't know, we've got our very own news show, Hawk Hit News, and this is where all the magic happens. Let's check it out. Yo, this is my boy Taylor Gatto, senior here at Hutch. Taylor, what are you and Shayla working on right now?
We're just working on our Hawk Hit News program. With this system that we have here, we can do anything you can imagine, live sport broadcast. This is the same system the Miami Heat use, so you know we're top of our game.
Sounds like we're pretty set up. So not only do we have this super cool switchboard that the Miami Heat also uses, we've got this dope audio board to make sure all of our anchors and everything sound really great. As if this wasn't cool enough, let's get into the main place. Let's hop on over to the studio. All right, guys, this is the main hangout, the main place where all the work gets done. Yo, we've got the coolest and the best lab set up in here, and it's all been put together by our super cool teacher, Mr. Johnson.
Yo, what's up, Alyssa? What's up, guys? Welcome to my crib. Yeah, this place is super souped up, including we got screens. 70-inch 4K screens here. MacBook Pros, not those cheap little white MacBooks. We got the MacBook Pro 13 inches there. We've got monitors in the back booths and the side booths. We got so sick of our paper bulletin board, we put monitors in our hallway. All total, 1,111 inches of just pure viewing pleasure right here in Arts AV. You can come check it out.
That's a lot. Now we're in one of my most favorite places in the entire lab, the studio. In here we've got the best cameras in the state, the best lighting system, and 20 feet of green screen. Our Hawk Hit News is filmed right here, and it's the coolest place in the entire school. All right, and if you guys really just need to sit down and grind on your work, we've got these super cool back booths with dual monitors. And here's my boy Jaden. Hey Jaden, what are you working on?
I'm just working on some logos so we can get out to the companies, make them look good.
All right, well, it seems like you're doing a pretty good job. I'll let you get back to work. Here at Hutch, we use the latest and the greatest software. All the things that your favorite movies, posters, commercials were made on, we use the same editing software because we're the best. All right, guys, let's head over into our equipment room. We've got everything under the sun in here. We've got microphones, we've got DSLR cameras, we've got video cameras, Canon, Nikon, Sony, we've even got freaking GoPros, and we want you to get the best hands-on experience with the greatest equipment out there. That's why you can check this out just during the school day, overnight, over the weekend, and even use them for your own personal projects. So not only do we make super cool news shows, videos, photos, and graphics in here, but we produce our very own yearbooks. And these yearbooks, they're not just your grandma's yearbooks, they're super cool and made with the highest tech software and have awesome features like augmented reality where you can use your phone to interact with the book. And let me tell you guys, it's crazy. So not only all that cool stuff, but I can graduate from Hutch with up to 9 college credits, and if I want, I can get my Adobe Photoshop certification, Premiere certification, and New Tech to lead me into a great career in the Arts AV field. I love Arts AV, and I love Hutch, and I think you guys will too. But now I'm gonna need you to get out of here because I've got to work on this super cool video, and I hope I see you guys next year right here at Hutch.
Welcome to Stream Team. The team is made up of students from the Arts AV cluster at Hutchison High School. This group of young and creative students dedicate their time after school and on the weekends to produce live events from all over Alaska. These events are streamed over the web for audiences across the state, the nation, and the world to enjoy. Of note, we are particularly proud of our graduation stream, which was viewed by deployed family members in Iraq. Our team uses high-end production equipment, including multiple cameras, mass communication headsets, live video switchboards, and even an instant replay generator to produce high-quality and engaging content for our viewers. The team is made up of between 6 to 10 students, each in unique positions responsible for a certain aspect of the show, yet all moving in sync to produce the best possible viewing experience. Our team started in March of 2010, and to date we have produced over 300 live streams. We started with making streams in our own home school, but have since mobilized our equipment, and we now stream various events all over Alaska. It is always a fun and exciting experience to produce these streams, but the real reward is being able to bring live coverage of special events to parents and fans who are unable to make the long trips around our great state. To man, there has only been one thing to define us all, an evolutionary leap used by our most ancient.
Into this broadcast, boy, do we got a good one here. It's been about the only really competitive game was when these two teams played yesterday. The number 2 seeded Monroe Rams taking on the number 3 seeded Hutchison Hawks. It was a bit of an upset yesterday. The Hutchison Hawks coming out on top as the 3 seed, but I can tell you from having seen these two teams all throughout the season, this is an even matchup. We are here on behalf of the Delta High School stream team. Working the camera that you're holding right now is actually one of our Delta workers. Here next to me, another Delta High School worker. But back in the booth in various places are some Hutchison High School workers. So a collaborative effort between the Hutchison High School stream team and the Delta High School stream team to bring you this broadcast. We also appreciate all of you listening on KDHS LP 95.5 FM Delta Junction. It's the world's biggest little station. It's a co-broadcast, as I said, between us or Hutchison High School, that is, and Delta High School. You can see this online at kdhs.fm. You can also watch on hhsstreamteam.com. And be sure to like us, that's the KDHS, on Facebook, so you can keep up with all the action that they stream out of here, all kinds of basketball games, graduations, all the rest of this stuff. So a fantastic, fantastic stream coming your way. It's sure to be a good game as we see the players taking the end lines there for the opening announcements. They don't do the, unfortunately, they don't call the girls' names out after the first time that they play, so the girls will simply shake hands here. Just a look at a couple of the matchups to keep your eyes on. The tallest player on the court, which matters in volleyball, is going to be Chloe Maynard from Monroe High School. She's number 13. Right there, you can see her on the left-hand side of your screen. She's listed on our program at 6 feet. I can tell you I was just standing next to her. She's not 6 feet. She's got to be at least 6'2". She's tall, she's long, and she controls the middle. You can see Coach Obermeyer giving some final advice to those Monroe Rams. A bit of a tough road this morning for Monroe, as they already had to play earlier. They're working their way through the losers bracket, having lost yesterday. Their first game, they ended up losing to Hutchison High School yesterday, so then they have to come back. They played at 10 a.m. this morning. They're playing at noon right now, and if they happen to win this one, they're going to play again. On the other side, the Hutchison Hawks, well, they had to play an extra game on Thursday, so they played Thursday as the number 3 seed, handled their business with Galena, played Monroe yesterday, as we talked about, and this will be their first game today. It's always interesting to kind of wonder which one is the advantage, disadvantage. You have Hutchison High School, who had to be here an extra day, sleeping on the floor an extra day, not getting that home cooking an extra day. So that's a disadvantage, as they're on day 3 of their road trip, whereas Monroe High School is, of course, at the disadvantage that they just played. Of course, sometimes coaches think, well, that's all right, we'll treat that as a warm-up game. Delta High School, who Monroe played earlier, was not too much of a challenge for the Rams, as they took care of them in 3 sets. But that was literally just, that game ended 40 minutes ago. So a back-to-backers here for Monroe High School. We'll see who's got the better of it as we're ready to get things started. The liberos checking in. Libero for the Monroe Rams is number 7, Marion Nelson. You see on your screen number 9, Kaylee Dillon. And your first server on screen now is Emily Wayfield, number 5. Hutch in the powder blues, Monroe in the bright yellows. It'll be easy to tell who is who. Setting up early, they're going to go right to Chloe that I talked about, dug nicely by Wayfield. Hal Brooks will go back to Mandragon. Mandragon gets punched over. We'll go to her again. Mandragon's going to have to free ball it over. We'll see if they feed Chloe again. Yes, they do. In the middle again. That's blocked by Mandragon. Saved nicely by Hal Brooks and played over by Bree Majors. Again, Hutchison High School going. Some miscommunication there by the Hutchison Hawks. Another free ball. More offense for Monroe than Hutch at this point. The ball then. Now we'll get our setter there. Where's Wayfield? Her first look at Goforth. Goforth on the back line. Dug nicely. A long rally to start this one. It's going to be a tough game. Blocked partially by Hutch, but then dug up. That one rolls over the net and up and under, and Hutchison High School win the first point there. What effort from the two teams. I can tell you that is by far the longest rally that we've seen this entire tournament, not just from these teams, but from the entire tournament. These are the two most evenly matched teams of the tournament. It's going to be back and forth all day, folks. All right, coming again on the back line is number 9. She's going to send that one just out as a Kaylee Dillon, that is, the sophomore at 5'4", just not able to find that line, and Wayfield will serve again. High lofting serve to the back line. They'll tie Dillon again. That one bumped funkily by Jada Russell. Ended up between Russell and Goforth there. Russell not quite the range to get over. As we see now, the first server for the Monroe Rams is going to be Tia Campanelli, also a sophomore at 5'9". There's a lot of seniors on Monroe High School, but they're not necessarily the main players for Monroe High School. They got a lot of youth that actually plays. Coming in now, Mandragon. We'll see if Hutch can get her started. They're going to like that hit there, which goes off the top of the hands of the blockers, and it's going to be point. She wins the point. She wins the serve. It's 3-1 now for Hutchison High School on top. Allie to serve, goes to the back row. Nice clean pass. They're going to get to Chloe. Chloe can put it down. I mentioned it in yesterday's broadcast. Sometimes they tend to set directly above Chloe's head. She can't do much with those. The times that they feed it out in front of her, as you see a wry smile from the 6'2". Chloe's a senior, I believe. No, just a junior. Boy, that's bad news for the rest of the region when you got a player, potential region MVP like Chloe, who's just a junior. Going to keep seeing her. They're going to try Goforth again as a senior for the Hutchison Hawks. She's back a bit too far, and that one into the net, and you can see the Monroe stands, or the fans pumped up. Good following of Monroe fans here, at least next to me in the stands. And that ball bumped to the center. We're going to try Halbergs, the freshman. Cross court, that's not going to go. Muramoto dug nicely by Mandragon, kind of having to hustle the Hawks to find it, end up getting it over. Maramoto try again. Backline, Bree Majors does well. They're going to come to Goforth. Goforth's going to send that one sailing. The first one's too short. The second one's too long. And Hutchison High School is going to need Alyssa Goforth if they're going to climb above the Rams here, as Camille Lesko, number 1, will keep the serve. And let's see if they go. She goes. Wayfield, who's had herself a heck of a tournament, punches it right over. And then it's Halbrooks there on the free look. Halbrooks not quite strong enough with that one. She could have put a little pepper on it. She just content to try to push it over. And against the Monroe Rams, they're going to push it right back as they do. And the ball now out a little, quite a run here for the Monroe Rams as they take a 5-3 lead. Goforth now. She'll do that little two-hand push. She likes that move, especially when she's not overly finding her stroke yet. She'll try again here. Down line, Muramoto. That's a funky set from her, but Hutch kind of having soft spot in the center and Hutch into the net. And you can see Wayfield on the other side as the Rams celebrate. We saw Wayfield come to the center there. Just tell her, girls, calm down, we'll be all right. So we'll see an important kill here for your Hutchison High School. And there go Russell off the hands of the blockers, and the two Monroe players get into each other there as neither one calling the other off. Two hands make it hard to hit a very clean set, and we get an important kill. Checking in is now number 12, Edgerly. Edgerly, an outside hitter for the Hutchison Hawks. Keep your eyes on her. She'll be on the bottom center of your screen here. They like to set her as well out of this rotation. That ball's funky for the Hawks, who have to chase it down, and Muramoto couldn't resist hitting it. It floated up there, but it's one of those ones that you have to pause a second and think, am I really in position to hit this? That one floating and sails out of bounds. Good hustle by Goforth there to save a sort of an awkward hit on the other side. And it'll come to Chloe in the middle. Chloe is feeling good, but blocked by Russell. Dug around and beautifully played by the Monroe Rams to scramble off the block. A nice block for Hutch. Then Russell gets some pop going. We didn't see that from Russell yesterday. She was a little bit sleepy. That'll be a big advantage for the Hutchison Hawks if Miss Jada Russell can get going. So now Bree Majors serve on the back row. That's a good positioning on that. And then the two Monroe players looking at each other as Sierra, again, Mary Nelson, and number 4 for the Rams not communicating. And it's 7-6, back and forth. It's going to be that way, folks. Buckle up. And now number 1, she'll send that. Was a little bit long, but Bree Majors plays it anyways. Was one of those in-between balls. Blocked there by Chloe. You got to try somewhere else in the middle. And Goforth's hitting woes continues as she goes into the net here. Another short one. And it's 7-7 then. Kaylee Dion then, number 7. 7 is Marion Nelson. That was the wrong name bar on that one. 7, Libero on the different color jersey there, sends that one long. We kind of keep a tally. I wish we had a statistician on our team. It'd be interesting to keep tallies of, things like unforced errors and so. These are two solid teams, so you're not going to see a lot of errors, but the little errors might be the difference in tight games. And Hutchison High School not really ready as that ball, which looked like it was going to be an easy free ball, actually played a little more aggressively on the bump over by the Rams. Catches the Hawks a little bit off guard. Good play for the Rams. And now serving will be number 4, Pamela Knoll. So Pamela left-handed. That ball comes off a little bit different. Sometimes causes problems just like that. And that causes a problem for Bree Majors as the ball spins a little bit different off your southpaws. And her pass to Wayfield. Wayfield unable to save it in time for the rest of the team to punch it over. So 9-6, 9-8 if that is for your score. That one's going to be short. Rolls just over the net. And a little bit of looking around on that one. That's a tough one when they hit that net like that. Knowles got a good serve here. A good placement server. And so see where she keeps trying to put this one. It's kind of a little jumping serve. She pushes Goforth back, and it's going to be free for Monroe. A chance to continue the little streak here. Muramoto will try it. Muramoto, big block by Jada Russell. What's interesting with Jada as a sophomore is she's just come down. She's real pumped up. And sometimes when you got that adrenaline, you jumps a little higher, you float a little longer. But we'll see if Jada Russell keep things going now. You got Chloe, that's Madeline Leslie actually back in the middle there, hitting now. And Bree Major saves that one. Russell will bump it there. Mandragon and Edgerly get together, end up getting it over. Goforth will get it set there. Mandragon, see if she can get her going. That's a good hit down the line, and it's off of the hands of Knoll. And it's 10-10, a good point there for the Hutchison Hawks as Russell will keep things going. Big energy on both sides. Both teams moving around, flying around here. Number 6 into the net. A little miss hit there. If you're Hutchison High School, you see number 8 there, the blue player that you saw flashing on that block. She's the net minder for the Hawks. Tall player in Mandragon, causes lots of problems for opposing teams, as she does right there on the block, but saved beautifully again by Monroe. That's a couple times now they've saved off the block, and good smart play here by the Hawks to reset. And that ball is not going to be off the hands. No, not off the hands of the blockers. It sails out of bounds on Mandragon. And we got a substitution coming in. Not a substitution. Oh, we're actually going to get 4 hits. Oh, I see. And it's Obermeyer's. Originally comes over for clarification, but after the clarification, they call her coming over the net is what they're calling there. So it's actually a point for Hutchison High School. That ball now off. They called the blocker, came in too far over for Monroe High School there. So we'll see if they can answer, get a kill this time, and that one's going to be just out off of this hit of Muramoto. Both teams yesterday had a hard time really finding the back line on their spikes. Everything seemed to be sailing just a little bit long for each team in this gym. We'll see whoever maybe can find that back line will start going. Madeline Leslie will try off the hands of the block, falls short in front of Goforth. Edgerly then will hit to the back line. Beautiful pass for the Monroe Rams. That one bumped up, or off the hands of the blocking Mandragon, but no one there to recover it. You know, there's a little bit of a difference between that one and what you saw on Monroe's side. Monroe's block comes on their side and Monroe's hustled under it. Hutchison not having a player there cost them that point. 13-11 now in very important game one. Jada Russell, the pass from Goforth was off. So a chance for Monroe here. They'll try right side. This has been a little bit of a soft spot for Hutchison High School there in that middle area, and finding it beautifully were the Monroe Rams for their 12th point. As we see that gap, that hole right in the middle. Hutch been having a hard time covering that. And that ball to Goforth, she'll set it up to Wayfield. Wayfield will try Edgerly on the outside. Edgerly, a really good placement hit there as she kind of finds that corner. You can't fault the defense. They were rotating over well. Interesting to see good angle hitting from Edgerly there as she comes down the line. Wins the point and her serve. 14-12 now. So Edgerly to the back middle. Again, good passing so far today from Monroe High School. And it's that little area in the middle I was telling you about. Able to find it. Number 9, De Leon, the 5'4" sophomore. Madeline Leslie with the serve. Madeline Leslie, one of the seniors, listed at 5'11". Again, I think she's taller than I don't know if Obermeyer was playing jokes with his roster, maybe taking a couple inches off. But Hutch does a good job scrambling off that good hit. Jada Russell gets it, and Wayfield tries to do too much with it, too strong, as the setter Wayfield ball coming right back after off the dive of Russell. She ends up sitting it long off the back. We got ourselves a tie ball game. Yesterday it was a game of runs. Each team would score about 5 points in a bucket. Today it's a little more back and forth, a couple points at a time, as Mandragon gets her chance to whack it. Either one of these teams, pay attention to the first pass. Those of you that are watching at home, the first pass, if it's a clean pass to the setter, they can really set up some of the good hitters on the squads, and it's a tough defensive out. Now 9 will hit 9 down the line. Bree Major saves at Wayfield. That's going to be a tough angle to set with, so she gets it to Mandragon in the middle. Over out the side, De Leon again. De Leon into the net, but it's called as a block. So no 4 hits there. Mandragon will try again. Nah, a little soft there. Number 6, she put some pop to it. Number 6, Campanelli, lowering the boom on that one to the corner. And it's going to be 15 all now. Back and forth we go. So a race to 10. We played a 25 in Alaska volleyball. Each one's a point. No rally points here. Goforth now with a good pass. See if she gets it back. She does, but it's off net, so she just stands and hits it over. They'll try 9. This time 9's all the way into the net. DeLeon's been good hit, bad hit, good hit, bad hit. We'll see if she can average that out into getting them all over. Mandragon now to serve. And that one's going to sail long and out. That's off the hands of number 10, Abigail Allen. Well, she was trying to go high over the blockers there. Hutch does a good job getting hands up on almost every hit, as does Monroe. That one's long to the back corner, but passed well. There's Chloe's back in the game. She gets a chance to pop it, but dug very nicely by the big hitter. And that one could have been sailing long, kind of Goforth was putting it. He was either going to paint the line or be just out. In this case, it's either way going to be a timeout for Coach Obermeyer. Wants to talk things over. While they're talking things over, why don't you talk about what you want to send in? We want you guys to get active in the game. We don't want it to be all my words that you're seeing and hearing. So you'll see a number come up on your screen. It was up just a second ago. It's not up anymore. But we will take your texts in. It's the same number we've been losing all weekend for those of you who text in, so feel free to send in your text messages. We'll read them here on the air. So while we have a quick minute here, we want to definitely give a big shout out to all the seniors on both squads. Unfortunately, the losing team, that's going to be the end of your season. So on the Monroe Catholic Rams side, Camille Lesko, senior at 5'1". Brianna Rabjohns, the seniors at 5'4", is number 3. Madeline Leslie, who we've seen, number 5. Marion Nelson, who we've seen, is the libero at number 7. At number 10, Abigail Allen is also a senior for the Monroe Rams. Good luck to those seniors. Much easier on the Hutchison Hawks side, just one senior. Number 2, Alyssa Goforth, who we've called her name a few times, is a senior for the Hutchison Hawks. So Mandragon off the back there, and Obermeyer trying to get a good start, and he gets exactly that. If I'm in a timeout and I'm a volleyball coach and I'm trying to break serve, I'm saying if we get a good pass, set Chloe and let her put it down. They do exactly that. So Camille Lesko then to serve, a senior, as we just read off. And the senior serves it over. We'll go outside to Goforth, senior to senior. And now 10, Abigail Allen, unable to do anything with it. Abigail rolls it into the net and off. And so Bree Majors, strong player for Hutchison, a very experienced player for sure. So expect good serving. Both teams really don't have any weak spots at serving. Chloe again in the middle. What's interesting about Chloe is you're going to see most of her damage, both blocking and hitting, done from that middle position. So she ends up rotating out a lot, and they put Leslie in as they just did. It's kind of an interesting thing to see, trading height for height there, as Hutchison High School gets the ball right back. They get to 21st here. We often talk about 20 being kind of a special number in these games. If you can get to 20, you're in really good shape with the other team behind, but this one's so back and forth, I don't think it much matters. You got to get to 25 to get this one done. Goforth sends kind of a stinging hit there, so they're a little bit tangled up on what exactly to do with that one, as the initial pass was just enough to get it up as Goforth served so hard, and Monroe gives a free one away there. It's 21-17 now as Leslie hits it into the net. So let's go again. The pass kind of just centered, almost an exact replay, and this time instead of out the back, this one, or short, this one goes out the side. And it's, I wouldn't say necessarily been Monroe's fault. It's been Goforth's strong serves. She's putting it just in that high area. It handcuffs the back row hitter there, whether they bump it or set it. So good positional serving. Got a couple free ones
for the Hutchison Hawks. Now needing 3. You see Coach there really talking up the defensive side of things, which you can't have if you're Hutchison High School, which I wouldn't say happens a lot, but we've seen happen is they let down a little bit and try just not to lose. I think you're going to go ahead, a good team like Monroe High School, you're going to need to kind of win this one. You can't expect them to keep making, a hitting error here or there to give you the 3 that you need. Go out and get one. So we see the text number coming in there. You can leave that up on screen, maybe a little bit longer, guys, so people can actually read it. But send those text messages in. We'll put them up on air. I'll try to get the guys down in the booth to leave them up there a little bit longer. Goforth again tries a different position. That's interesting. She changed where she hit it, and Monroe, that is, does well to bring that one back. 7 slides over. They're going to go outside to Muramoto. Blockers overlaid, so they're able to go, and Edgerly backed out of that one off of a nice dig by Bree Majors, but is also not, as the second hitters had backed out. Now it's going to be for Knoll, who gave the best run so far for the Monroe Rams. She's going to be serving here, so good position for if you're a Rams fan. As a ball in the back, but passed well by Bree Majors. Edgerly now. Edgerly off the hands of the blockers. Monroe back row. A set. It's going to be battle at the net. Jada Russell gets it over with the left hand. Muramoto, she's going to go back row and it just finds the corner. It's a little long, or Goforth thought it was a little bit long, probably wasn't in a great position to play it anyway, so she took the gamble to let it go, and it went into the court. So you can feel a little bit of tension here, as we know Knoll is the server that you would want here if you're Monroe, and not a good pass from Goforth there, and that ball hit by Goforth. Hutch give a free one away, and now it's a 2-point ball game. Coach down here reminding them to move their feet when they hit. As a ball to Bree Majors, that's hit well. Edgerly again, an opportunity to steal, not this time. Muramoto blocked by Russell, who has provided the spark win needed for the Hutchison Hawks. I'm telling you, she's juiced up. She's elevating more than she's used to. She's hanging up there longer than she's used to, and when she comes down, it is all smiles. And that pass a little bit long into the net. Yeah, that was a tough one. Knoll couldn't do anything with it, as a pass just a little bit long, and set point here for the Hutchison Hawks. Coach McGee hoping, let's just get it now, not add any drama to this situation. And that one's going to roll off the net and actually ends up inbounds. The blocker, having got up for Hutchison High School, caused her to redirect her hit a little bit there, hit it into the net, and the net, I think, slowed it down just enough that coming off of it, it actually dropped in. Had it not caught so much of the net, I think that one goes out. 24-21, Monroe got to do it now. Good clean serve there. Again, Russell. Let's see Monroe try here, number 4. She can go outside to 9. That sets a bit back. So it's opportunity to finish it for the Hawks. They're going to let Edgerly try it. Edgerly just tries to come down that corner line again. She did it beautifully the first time, not so much this time. Again, we're sitting at set point here. Won't be a big 1-0 advantage to whoever can take this one. Bree Majors, another good pass. She goes, sets that over. I think positioning was good enough. I would have tried to get some Mandrake in there. That one goes over, and now Monroe going to able to paint the line again. Interesting play from Emily Wayfield there, the setter for Hutchison High School. Had Mandragon set up, but decides to push it over. And a timeout taken by the Hutchison Hawks. As Monroe's climbed back in, it's still set point for Hutch. If they can get one more, they're going to be fine. But Monroe, they're not going away. This is a tough team. A tough experience. They play a lot of volleyball over at Monroe High School. You go over there about any day in the summer, and you're either going to have open gym volleyball or open gym basketball. They don't ever turn the lights on at the Monroe High School gym, and they've got the banners on the wall to prove it. So quick meeting from the Rams, as you see them at the top of your screen there. They're already back out. Obermeyer's a headsy coach for sure. He knows when to keep his kids in and talk to them, or when to say, just keep doing the same thing and send them back out there with a lot of confidence. In the meantime, McGee in her second year as the full-time head coach for Hutchison High School, gets her girls back out, needing just that one more point. But you're going to have to take it. As I said earlier, they're not going to give it away, either one of these teams, so you're going to have to take it. They played extra points in game number 2 yesterday. Goforth gets a good pass to start things. Mandragon chance to finish. Mandragon, but played nicely. I think that was Knoll over there. 9 then with it. She sends it long, and that's going to be it. And it's number 9 sending it long. De Leon. It was a good little rally to get back within striking distance for Monroe, but it falls a little bit for naught as a number of Hutchison players contributing in that one, finishing with maybe even that blocker getting over. I was saying that earlier, the blockers for both teams, but particularly Hutchison High School, is sending somebody up every single time to block. Monroe High School, when Chloe's in there, they send her up all the time, and that's imposing. Madeline gets up a little bit, but you're going to see that from Hutch every time. The blocker getting over on that one, perhaps influencing that ball to get a bit high. So Hutch squeaks one away. We're going to play, of course, best of 5 here in Alaska. And best of 5, they played at 25 each time, but the 5th game, they would play just to 15 points. So if you're Hutchison High School, feeling pretty good about it, mainly because you're forcing Monroe, who's now played 4 games in basically about 2 hours. That's their 4th game they just finished. And as I'm saying, I was sorry, I was reading that text and looking at all the dancers. But yeah, so they've already played 4 games. They're going to be now playing 5, at least 6, 7 games. It's going to be a bunch of games that the Monroe Rams are going to have to play to climb this up. But they're in good shape. They'll be able to. So as you can see on screen, if you want to send in your words of encouragement, your shout-outs, even if you saw one of your friends in the fans here or in the stands here dancing, you can text in to them as well. So pretty good contingent on my left-hand side of Hutchison High School fans. Across the way in blue and yellow are the Monroe Ram fans, always well represented. It's about a 2-hour drive, Fairbanks, Alaska to Delta High School. You go right off by Eielson Air Force Base with all of their F-16 fighter jets. Eielson played here earlier. The Eielson Ravens, that is, played here in this tournament. They got out a little bit earlier yesterday. So game number 2 here, I think you're looking, and you see her on the left-hand side of your screen there, Alyssa Goforth, a little bit quiet in that game, contributed in small parts, but I think if you're Hutch and you're going to win this thing, you're going to have to see Goforth really get it going. Chloe there on your left-hand side needs to be good. And both teams see pretty loose, but when it's Sweet Caroline, all of you Boston Red Sox fans, I'm sure, are celebrating and enjoying spending tons and tons of money on Christmas gifts right now for refreshing your stack. And so hearing Sweet Caroline, I'm sure good for Boston Red Sox fans out there. So as we get started here, I want to give a big shout out to the Delta High School and Hutchison High School Extreme teams. A lot of kids sitting here on a Saturday. They could be at home watching Netflix, out riding snow machines, all the stuff that kids would rather do. But instead of doing all that, they are here running cameras and having blaring headsets and watching bad fan dancing so that you can watch the game. So be sure to send in your thank yous to the various resources wherever you're at. Watching on Facebook, send a thank you. YouTube, send an email, write a comment, all that good stuff, so we can keep these kids doing all this great work that they're doing for you. All right, Knoll set to serve here, get things started for the Monroe Rams. That's to the middle. Jada Russell plays it well, and Wayfield tries with just a little right-hand bump, able to do much with it. The pass from Russell looks better than it was at first, as Wayfield unable to get under it. And we were playing volleyball here in the gym last night, and I can tell you, watching the different serves come, it really does affect how you respond when that ball comes left-handed instead of right-handed. And she, Mandragon there, does well on that set, a little bit out of her range to really hit it, so she just redirects it around the block of, as you see on the replay here, yeah, just a little redirection. Maynard was there, but redirection by Mandragon does well, point for Hutchison. Now Chloe come find that back line in the center as Bree Majors taps her chest saying that was me. She had slid over. I don't know, I would really say that. I think she was sliding over to what would have been a good position anyways, and it was just a good hit by Chloe. So to the line to serve is Lesko. Lesko put a couple points together in the first one from behind the line. See if she can do that again. It was Goforth now trying to get going, and Goforth into the net. Maybe working a little too hard there is Goforth. Over swinging a bit. This is the second one we've seen go into the net for her. So Lesko again to serve. To Russell again. We'll see if they try outside. No, they go Mandragon. She's had a good, strong, solid game so far. And Halbrook's content just to set it over. That one gets a bit into the net, comes off to Goforth, who plays it well in. Mandragon going to hit it, and it's going to be in again. Mandragon directing a sort of floater ball there. Good positional play for Maliona. Mandragon again. Miramoto has a tough hit. Goforth will cover that. Wayfield now. See if they get Jada Russell going. That's bumped up off the face of Wayfield, but saved by the Hutchison Hawks. They'll try to hit again. Wayfield going to chase that one down from Bree Majors. Jada Russell will hit it. Scrambling defense from the Hutchison Hawks, staying alive. Let's see if they can keep it up. Not this time, as it's off the hands. Miramoto gets her first real good look there off the hands of the block and in. And the serve will go to number 7, Marion Nelson. And Nelson hits it long on the back line there. They're going to try Goforth again. Goforth now gets a hit, and you're going to punch that one in off the hands of the block. You can see, I could actually see and hear it. She took a little bit off of that swing that time. She's going to need her full power if they're going to win points. But at the meantime, to get yourself going, sometimes taking a little bit off of it works out well for you. So point for Goforth there. And off the back, Nelson played it back by Mandragon. Had to scramble, whereas Monroe didn't expect it to come back. And then 7 goes for a hit and immediately kind of puts her hands to her side saying, what was I doing? I knew better than to do that. So Bree Majors on the back line floats it right over. Nifty serve from her. And Mandragon will play it. This Wayfield going to go to Goforth again. See if she can get going. And positional play. It's been the points for Hutch so far haven't come from big hits. Rather, they've come from good spot shooting for the Hawks. And Obermeyer is going to take kind of an early timeout here at 5-4. Must see something rotationally that he wants to square away. While he's doing that, I'm going to take a minute to make sure we do all the right stuff for the radio, because we're co-broadcasting on the radio as well, and there's some rules and regulations with that. So you're listening to KDHS LP 95.5 FM Delta Junction. It's the world's biggest little station. This broadcast can also be seen online at kdhs.fm, hhsstreamteam.com, as well as on Facebook. So we appreciate everyone who's tuning in to the various ways that you can see this game. So 5-4. It'll stay this way, folks. I don't necessarily expect any team to run away with anything here. It didn't happen yesterday. It didn't happen all season. It's going to stay tight throughout. Little runs may happen, and that's an unfortunate hit, as you see Lesko pumping herself up coming out of the timeout. Definitely not what you wanted if you're the Rams. You know, Bree Majors, you can see Coach down there on the bottom left of your screen. She opens her shirt up and points to on her shirt, almost like a signal caller in baseball. Jada Russell will try the back line for positional serves for the Hawks. There you go. Madeline Leslie been a little quiet in this game. We see her hit the ball in the net again. Yeah, if you look down on the left here, see bottom left of your screen, you see Coach open her shirt up there and point for where she wants that serve. Bree Majors generally going to put it right there. And that time Bree Majors sprawling out, tries to get that one up in the air, not unable to get enough lift on it. It's really a great hit by the Monroe Rams and a point for them. And comes a bit quiet in here. And Hutch having to hustle to get that one up. Now 6 will set outside Miramoto. Miramoto to Bree Majors. That's good. They're going to go outside to Goforth. Goforth. Miramoto digs it up. Chasing it down are the Rams. So you're going to get a free shot for the Hawks. Bree Majors. They'll go out to the middle, that is. Russell softly to the middle. 7 will push it over. 3 Hutchison players combining there, and it's actually Jada Russell. 3 Hutchison players, including the setter, got mixed up in the first initial hit. So then all of a sudden it left Jada Russell standing there by herself. She content just to bump it over. I don't know if she meant to send it that long, or she looks over. Her parents, I think, are sitting next to me and saying, great hit, and she looked over and said, no, it wasn't. I think it was a mistake. And speaking of mistakes, Alyssa Goforth shorts that one. She took a little bit of power off of her spikes to make sure that they stayed in. She unfortunately forgot to tell her arm to speed it back up on the serve there. She just short arms that one into the net. 6-8 now as Muramoto will come to the line. And that's in the back, and it's Goforth reaching over and off of her hands. Good strong serve from Muramoto. Most of these servers have kind of a stinger kind of a hit to them. You're not seeing them putting a lot of spin on any of the balls to get them to drop or anything like that. You're seeing them really just kind of pump them right to the back line. And that one goes short again. More serving errors today than I've seen than we saw from these two teams yesterday. You do have to wonder. I mean, we're talking 2 days on classroom floors, on sleeping mattresses, eating whatever you can get your hands on. Will fatigue play a role? We'll find out, I guess. 9 with a good hit here. That one rolls off the net. Mandragon will bump it up to Edgerly. And now 4 will try at Knoll. It's going to be Wayfield. Wayfield pushes over again. That's tough to 6-7, and that's going to be mishit. Number 6, Campanelli, who's been doing the setting work for the Rams, hasn't been getting great passes. She tries to do like a back set there to Nelson. Ends up sending that too far back as well. So got to clean up the first couple hits here if you're the Monroe Rams, as you're not getting any good offense generated because of that. Surprisingly, not a lift there. Now you get that one, boy, just handled over by Mandragon, who has not been doing much for usual huge hits, but has been doing great work left hand, right hand. That time it was a fist over the hand of the blockers. It's 11-7 now. Russell, that pass is much better from the Monroe Rams, gives Leslie a chance, but bumped up by Goforth, and then Mandragon will get a pop on it. Bumped up beautifully by Monroe, and that one's going to be just out the back line. Boy, Bree Majors, glad that one went out. I'd call it a 50-50 ball when it came off of the hands. Yeah, you can see the linesman right there on it, just out. And De Leon will hit, and that one's going to go out as well. And 13-7 or 12-7 now. 12-7 for... yeah, no, that's right. It was 13-7. 13-7. Hutch on a little run here, and new blood coming in for the Monroe Rams. Number 14 checks in, Demerit, hoping to calm things for the Rams, who get a good hit there, but it's dug up nicely by Goforth, having herself a better defensive than offensive game. Now Goforth beyond the back line, and I shouldn't have said anything because the offensive woes continued a little bit there. She tries a backline hit into the nets. 13-8 now as Leslie coming to serve. Not total desperation, but you certainly, if you're a Rams fan, want to make a run right here. Leslie, the senior, is a good person to make it for you. I'll see the back line of Hutch right now looks pretty strong with Goforth and Majors back there. Goforth, a good pass to Wayfield, to Mandragon in the middle. Mandragon, good hit, but played nicely by Monroe. Chloe will bump it. Bree Majors again with it. Wayfield, I think, will try Edgerly on the outside this time. That's going to be off the hands of the blockers as Edgerly gets a good hit on it. Edgerly's not tall and long like most of your outside hitters would be, but she has good body position, good control, and we've already talked a little bit. She can find different angles as she does there, so that's good. Chloe that time immediately sends it back over to Hutch, and Hutch, which a good play by, it was Halbrooks actually, the freshman. Halbrooks, number 10, alert in the game, sees Chloe hit it right back over, sends it to Wayfield. Wayfield, beautiful set to Mandragon, and Mandragon, a beautiful finish down the line, and you're going to get your second time out of this one for Monroe High School. I think if you're Coach Obermeyer, you kind of know you don't want to go down 2-0, because even though that doesn't mean you're out, boy, that would be 3 more games that you'd have to win, and you know your girls would be already on game number 6, 7, and 8 to get there. So as you can see on your screen, and you've got your fans cheering, if you want to cheer in from home, you can send that text to 360-205-7905. The graphics crew down there is composed of Mr. Cohen Cahort is down there running graphics, one of our new streamers. He's down there typing away as furiously as he can. So be sure to send in your message, and we'll get it for you on the air. If you're a Rams fan, and I know there's a bunch of you out there watching, your girls are in need of a rally here. Number 14, Demerit, who just checked into the game, is going to do some work. And that's actually a big deal for the Rams because she doesn't get a lot of playing time, having seen her this tournament. So sometimes it's one of your unsung bench players gets a point, all of a sudden the rest of your team rallies up around that. So Knoll now with it to the back line. That's Russell. We'll see if she'll try outside. Halbrooks blocked by Chloe in the side there. As that comes back down, a little spurt for the Rams here. That's a tough spot if you're Halbrooks there off the net. You got to put that one a little bit of height on it and go forth. And Russell combined. Major sets it up for Mandragon, who then blocks it, who gets blocked again by Chloe. And as I said, Demerit was the one that started this whole like, hey guys, just play volleyball. And off the Rams have gone here, 3 straight points. Mandragon will try again. That one gets through, but played by Knoll. Now Demerit will try again. This one's a back line to go forth. Go forth now to Wayfield. Wayfield sends it over, and it's just out. Sails just a little bit long on Wayfield, who hasn't had any luck on those sets over. And we see Coach down here telling her, I'm not sure what she's telling her, maybe don't do that. Jada Russell with it. Now that one's got to be pumped up by Wayfield, and the run is on. The run is on. Hutch ran about 5 points. Here comes Monroe with their own set of a few, and it's Knoll again on the serve for a lot of these. Russell, there's a better pass to Wayfield to Mandragon. Can she go by Chloe? Yes, she can in this case, and that's a little bit cleaner look for the Hutchison Hawks fans. Mandragon wisely that time steers it towards the sideline rather than towards Maynard. So Wayfield try to build that lead back up for Hutchison, now only up 3. What was a 7-point lead quickly disappeared, and Chloe, pretty good hit. They'll try backline. Mandragon again steering it, directing and scoring. And Wayfield, another positional server. It looks like they're trying to send to the setter there. Jada Russell will get it. They'll go outside to go forth. Go forth pushes that over. It's Demerit sprawling out and getting on that one. Russell bumps it up. Wayfield have to come save it. Mandragon there up and over the hands of the blocker. 14, Demerit going to send that one just in. It's been Demerit. I like that because she's a junior just at 5'8", and she's sparked her Rams here. Keeping them in this one. Again, it's a 3-point lead, 17-14. And Lesko coming to serve here. So Lesko over. It's going to be Majors in the back to Wayfield. Mandragon steers that one now 6, and Monroe's getting savvy to it as they easily cover that one. Wayfield will try outside, go forth. Go forth's going to finally get some power on her hit, but Knowles is there to save it. And Bree Majors, who always looks like she's not going to hit it, ends up getting a good bump, but it's Mandragon's going to again get blocked by Chloe. It's this set. It's this rotation that was difficult for the Rams and good for the Rams yesterday. I'm sorry, that is where they have Chloe camped right there in the middle, and your players like Knoll and Nelson on the back line. And they're steered in by Mandragon, chased down by the Rams, and this time Halbrooks is not as ready as she was last time, and that's going to be enough for Coach McGee as McGee wanted to take a timeout. She feels the momentum air has gone out of the Hutchison side a little bit as we see the energy level picked up for the Rams battling back. They were down 7, now they're only down 1 and clearly have the current momentum, but the timeouts can help clear those things up. So not only is it competitive on the court, you got some competitive fan cheering going on the far side of the court there up on the top of your screen. The majority of the Monroe fans sitting on the left-hand side here next to us, the Hutchison Hawks. So and Ainsley said, let's go sissy number 2 from Goforth, or number 2, that's Alyssa Goforth getting a text in as they want her to get going. And that one outside to see if Ainsley doesn't get her answer from her sister quite yet. That ball long, Wayfield on the back line. There's Halbrooks, will set it up to Mandragon. Mandragon sneaks one in there, and a good timeout for Coach McGee. A good timeout for Coach McGee there as the Hutchison Hawks stop the bleeding a little bit. And it's Lesko slightly shaken on that one as she sprawled out. I'm not sure she just got a rug burn or what, or court burn that would be. And 6 has Chloe in the middle to Mandragon. Not a great pass. It'll go forth a chance to push that one over. Steers that over. We'll go back line. Big hit. Boy, that's number 6. Campanelli. There's a couple times that I've said that Campanelli's gotten some work done. I don't know if you maybe want to start setting her up a little more. Now you have number 7 coming to the line, Marion Nelson. To the back to Bree Majors. Bree Major, we're going to go to the freshman Halbrooks, who sends that thing long. And Halbrooks is freshman do. You have a good play, you have a bad play as you kind of start to find your way on this court. I'm sure we'll be calling her name for a lot more good ones as she gets older. But in this case, a lost ball there and a good serve from Nelson, picking on Russell a little bit there. Kind of had her hands down. And suddenly Monroe High School down 9 is up 1. Or down 7, that is now up 1, 19-18. So Mandragon, that pass to Goforth. Goforth pushes over to Wayfield. Wayfield sets it over. Muramoto, good strong hit. Goforth, can she track it down? Into the stands goes Goforth. You can't fault the effort. Unfortunately, it's just a small gym here. Where I grew up in Arizona, that ball was easily chaseable down. Our gyms were considerably larger. But when you got to heat all this air, they keep them pretty small up in Alaska. So the race to 20 won by the Monroe Rams. The official down here double checking the rotation. And we're going to have a conversation here. What they have going on is they're warning the boys over here on the side. I always appreciate, of course, good sportsmanship, and we want to applaud that. But I can say in some ways sometimes we get a little bit muted, at least in the state of Alaska. Maybe it's a time thing, 2018. I graduated in 1999. Boy, we used to get rowdy, really pack a gym, and it gave us something to do, something to keep us busy. I'm not saying it should be bad sportsmanship, but those boys are just getting amped up over there. I say let them go, otherwise they're just going to go home and watch Netflix. I'd rather they're here getting pumped up. And Jada Russell then, she's going to get blocked by Chloe, but not strong enough as Chloe's flick of the wrist is maybe just back a little bit. Actually, I'm sorry, that wasn't Chloe, it was Nelson, not Nelson, let me get the name, Madeline, that is Madeline Leslie for the Monroe Rams, just short on her finger block. And we'll come outside Muramoto. That one rolls off the net. It's about the third one Muramoto's rolled off the net. She's got this court dialed in. 21-19 now. The Rams on top. And that one gets pulled a little bit on her, so a freebie coming from Campanelli. And you have a senior server, the only senior on the team, coming, trying to get her team some points here, is Goforth. Chooses Knoll off the serve. Leslie, and that one handcuffs Bree Majors. I talked about it earlier, some of those hits are too high to bump and too low to set, and Thus you end up handcuffed. And so 22 now, 3 points to get this one away for the Rams. Hawks unable to make any mistakes here. Jada Russell, who's been quieted down a little bit now since game 1. Noel will try. Bree Majors digs it nicely. They'll try Edgerly, who's been consistently good. But now Demerit, there's number 6, Tia Campanelli. The pass was high, but Campanelli had kind of lost her footing and starts just screaming for help from Demerit, but Demerit not expecting to be needed, not surprisingly unable to get her hands under it. So Russell to try to tie things up now. There's Demerit, that pass is back for Campanelli, so it's gonna have to be free to the Hutchison Hawks. Majors to Wayfield, that's a good pass. Gives an opportunity for Mandrake, and an opportunity missed there, you have to feel, if you're the Hutchison Hawks, because there was no real blocker to speak of up there. Mandragon just sends it a little bit long. I talked about the teams struggling to find the back line, and we see it there again as Mandragon, who's been so consistently good, just pushes that one long out the back line. So a quick little tournament recap for these two teams from yesterday, and you're almost beginning to see the remakings of it. Yesterday's game, Hutchison High School, in what was a game of runs, 5 points here, and then Monroe ran off 7, and then Hutch 5. Run this, run that. The run was best for the Hawks as they won game number 1. In game number 2, it was a bit more back and forth action similar to today's game. It was Monroe that won game number 2 yesterday. Set number 3 that was yesterday resulted in the Hutchison Hawks again in a series of runs, getting about a 3-point lead in that one and holding on to it, and then Hutch won game number 4. So it was a 4-game match yesterday. We'll see if we'll repeat that again today. So far it looks like Monroe trying to really steal game number 2. Now Demerit, they're covering off the block and blocked again by Chloe, but pumped over by Hutch. And Chloe's hit is going to go just out of bounds. She tries to steer it in, copying Mandragon. Hers is steered just a little bit long, so Hutch gets a much-needed kill there. And it's going to be up to Edgerly to score some points. And that one served high to number 3. And that one blocked. Mandragon got it. Noel, they'll go back to Demerit. Demerit back row to Goforth. Goforth, they're going to try outside Halbrooks, and Halbrooks off the right fingers and lost there. Halbrooks just not getting the hits that she needs, and it's going to be giving set point here for the Rams. It's Noel, so you got to like that if you're a Monroe Rams fan. She's been a hot scorer. Mandragon, though, has been good for Hutch to kill, but not this time. Campanelli jumped too soon is what happened. She got up in the air a little early, resulting in coming down early as well. And now we end up in that situation we were in last game, 23-24. The coin is flipped, and it's going to be up to Wayfield and the Hawks, and it's going to happen here as an ace. I don't know if she was trying to put it that deep in the corner, but boy, it was going to be in. It was going to be on the line. That would have been a really gutsy serve from Wayfield to try to paint it that deep in the corner. And number 3, not expecting it to be over that far, was Brianna. Not surprisingly unable to handle it. It was deep in the corner. And Campanelli again to hit. She's going to find the corner herself. So both teams finding good hits, good deep in the corner shots. Defense is unable to get them. And coming to the line then will be Lesko. Lesko to serve here. Pretty tense inside the Delta High School gym. They get a clean look to Mandragon. She'll go down the line, save beautifully, and Miramoto puts it over. Hutch set well. He'll try Goforth. Goforth off the hands, and in is Goforth. What a good time for the senior to make a good swing. And just as they did in game 2 yesterday, it was actually game 3 yesterday, that Monroe and Hutch played to extra points. That's how it's going to be today as well, and it's out of bounds. Mandragon, a freebie. Tries to go down the right side line and sends it just about 4 inches long and out. It'll be 7. Nelson, again, we're seeing some service errors from these two teams. Might be nerves. That one's long as well, not out, but just long. And go forth, and Monroe, chance to finish it here. It's free for them. Muramoto's going to do just that. I don't think that Muramoto can spike it without hitting at least a little bit of net. That time she barely nicks it, but she gets net each time. It don't matter to her and the Rams as it pays. And they all score the same, 27-25. The Monroe Rams win game number 2 in just an absolute back and forth battle. Well, it was back and forth, but right there in the middle, let's not forget, down 7 points were the Monroe Rams. And Coach Overmeyer, using 2 timeouts early to kind of keep his girls around, works out in his favor, because after 1 timeout and a substitution of Demerit, who didn't necessarily score a ton of points or do a lot, but I said it, she came in and maybe just steadied the forces there, and good for the Rams. So the 2 teams will reset. We're going to play set number 3 here. And while we're doing that, just a quick note for some of your upcoming Alaska regional action. I believe the state volleyball tournament will be next week. We do not stream the state volleyball tournament, at least the Hutchison team and the Delta team don't stream the state tournament. ASA has made a contract with a professional company does those streams. So I'm sure if you go to asa.org, you will be able to find all the information about how to watch the state tournament. One of these teams will be going, one will be going home. We don't know who yet. But we're not even done here. After this game is done, we have the Aurora Conference Championship. The Valdez Buccaneers waiting in the stands and waiting in the wings for whoever wins this game. They will play for the Aurora Conference Championship, so a chance for the first banner on the wall to go up for one of these 2 teams. Now, Valdez has looked really, really strong, and they're, of course, really loving the fact that these 2 teams are having to battle so much. They're hoping some of the legs get lost. I can't imagine if I'm a Monroe Ram how I would feel turning around from this and having to go play more games immediately after. But I think they'll have such a big energy burst if they can win this one. They might be able to carry through and give Valdez something. We will be streaming that game. That game's set to start here at 2 o'clock from Delta High School. So we see both sets of girls back out on the court, checking body, just a quick body language scan. I don't think you're really seeing anyone down. Everyone kind of getting what they expected and what they knew they were going to get here, as Hutch, the underdog, I suppose, is the number 3 seed. But I can tell you from having a number of these players in class and having talked to them before, the volleyball region this year has been back and forth at the top, both between Valdez, Monroe, and Hutch. It's just been back and forth, winning games and losing games, and winning in their house and losing in their house. And so we kind of knew that teams 1, 2, and 3 of this tournament were going to end up in the exact situation that they have ended up in. So it's the exact same match sets as we got last time. Hutch won the first one. Monroe won the second one. Game number 3 yesterday was another game. I think they played to 29 in that one. It was 29-27, so it was another extra long one. And we would expect about the same here as the music stops. We see Chloe on your screen there, Coach Overmeyer down at the bottom left. You're getting a good look at this Monroe Rams. The ball this time will head over, though, to Wayfield. I think if I'm a Monroe fan, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I want to see Noel back on the line. I know that because number 4 has been scoring the big points, and I want to see Chloe hitting the ball, which you get to start things off, and 1-0 it goes for the Monroe Rams, the early kill of the server Wayfield. Now, yesterday Wayfield was the hot server for the Hutchison Hawks, so that's maybe a bigger kill than I really lead on to, as you get a chance as a coach to kind of set your rotation there and how you want to get the game started, and the earlier the other team can break your points, the earlier your rotation can get screwy. And here's Jada Russell on the back line, unable to slide over quite in time to get that one bumped up. So a good shot from Campanelli. As Campanelli, good server for the Rams, though she's had a couple miss hits there. The only true jump server, I would say, in this tournament. She's the one truly elevating on her jump serve. A number of the servers so far that we've seen in the tournament kind of do a little pop jump. It's a halfway there, but watch Campanelli elevate on her serve, and you'll see what I mean. It's all the way up, full extension. A nice serve from Campanelli. Again, Goforth gonna send that one in as Goforth, she spins it. It hasn't been the easiest hitting day for Goforth, but she's starting to kind of find her way to find the court. You could hear it come off of her hand a little bit flappy because she was putting that top spin to get that thing to land back line. Jada Russell unable to elevate this time as they pull the switch on her rather than hitting it hard. They pull it back just a little bit and spins it just over the blocker. And it's 4-1 now for the Monroe Rams. So Lesko set to serve. If I'm Hutch, I'm thinking I want to make sure the momentum from game 2 doesn't carry over too far here. And that's not a good pass as the sends the pass too long, and Chloe will take that every day, just floating up there like candy on Halloween. She'll take it and takes the point. 5-1 now. Let's see. I don't think McGee's not one to call timeout. She's more of a play-through coach. But that will not cause her to have to worry too much about a timeout. And you see Goforth, big strong hit there right down the pipe. And Bree Major sends it to the back line. 4-0 will hit. 4-0 will be just long out the back. A little bit of a delay from the linesman. It was close enough she had to think about it. I don't think we have a replay. We wouldn't have that great a shot of it anyways. Just a little bit long. That one's deep because Muramoto had to kind of jump and stick her right hand up there. Bree Majors definitely spot serving. Let's see if she go right back to Muramoto. I bet she does. She does. And she does it in. It's what caused Muramoto the problem the first time. Muramoto, it was going to go in, so she had to just stick a hand up. This one, she didn't want to do the same mistake twice, so she let it go, but it goes in. I would go right back to that well because Muramoto's actually scooted up, not back. Yeah, that's what she did. She scooted up so she could just jump set it. And Edgerly's going to have to save it. Bree Majors, can she get it from there? That's a tough angle. That was a tough scramble, but Majors did the work that was needed to be done, which was get the Hawks back in there. And now we're going to get Nelson to serve. Marion Nelson to Mandragon. Mandragon to Russell. And outside to Muramoto, making up for the pass mistakes, and she does just that. That's the second one in a row that we've seen from Monroe, which is slightly pulled back. And it just kind of floats over the fingertips of the blockers. Muramoto's got a lot of shots in her bag, and that was a good one. So Bree Majors bumps up to Wayfield. Now it's going to be Russell, who's really gotten quiet since that first game. We'll back out to Muramoto, see if she does it again. Doesn't do it that time. Hits that one as hard as she can. Unfortunately, the net just a touch high there, and 6-7 now. And Goforth will come to the line to serve. And I think they're going to go to Lesko here. Yeah. She sends it hard at Lesko. That's the easiest hit for Goforth to go with. And we're going to go outside to Edgerly, get her first hit of this game. And now a good setup for Muramoto. Well, no, not the angle was wrong for me. It looked like it came off the setter's hands good, but it actually came off a bit long. Muramoto, they were going for kind of a quick hit on that one, and not in this case. And Goforth will go again to Lesko. Muramoto again this time blocked by Russell, but too long. Got to get her hands turned just slightly the other way. She's smiling, though, as happy to have gotten the block, but got to slide over and get those hands twisted just a little bit so that block comes inbounds. It was a very strong hit by Muramoto. Been a little bit of the Muramoto conversation here, carrying the Monroe Rams. So Noel hits it long now on the back line. Jada Russell, that one's gonna roll over for Russell, and they tried to pick it up in time, but they're unable to. As the ball rolls just over the net, off the hands of the blocker and down in front. So Jada Russell again to serve off the back line here into the hand. Lesko had to sprawl for it. Nelson will bump it over. Mandragon, let's see if they go right back to her. I would if I was you. They do. She steers it. 10 digs it up. Muramoto again off the hands of a blocker, and scoring is Muramoto. A strong play from number 12. She's just a junior as well. Boy, you're looking at a couple juniors getting their names called a lot for these Monroe Rams. So Muramoto now to serve, and that one ends up a little bit short for her. And a point right back to Hutchison High School. So checking back in at the bottom of the screen, you see Halbrooks come in. Also number 3, Brianna Rapjohns, the 5'4" senior for Monroe, checks in. She'll play on the back row right. Oh, Edgerly to the back. That's Nelson. Kind of a funky hit there. So Noel will have to free ball. Good chance for the Hawks to get their first lead of this one. They'll try Mandragon. Hits it hard right at Brianna, who just checked in, but she does great checking into the game. We'll try Halbrooks. Halbrooks, it's Knowles again with the hit. Madeline Leslie with it. We'll try Mandragon again. All offense from Hutch, all defense from Monroe until now, where 9 will get a chance to hit it, and they can't. Edgerly, that soft middle spot that we had early in game 1 reappears, and it's the Monroe Rams finding it again. 10-9 now. Leslie to hit. Madeline Long on the back line. Jada Russell with it. We'll try Halbrooks. Halbrooks finds the middle ground herself. And we'll see if that's a good spark. It's not maybe dissimilar to what I was saying about Demerit earlier, which is if your freshmen on the Hutchison Hawks can get some points going, perhaps the rest of the team can settle into their routine as well. Now we'll try into the middle. Chloe's just going to punch it. And not reacting in time are the Hutchison Hawks there. We see Jada Russell actually getting up. Oh, I think she just got a little bit of a court burn there. She got up a little bit limpy, but she just kind of rubs it out. She seems to be fine. So it's Campanelli as the teams go back and forth here. Number 6 to serve. Campanelli on the back line. I take it back. That's a full jump serve there. And Mandragon, she's going to try it again. Second time a charm for Mandragon as she finds pay dirt once, twice is just off the hands. Mandragon, one of the players I was talking about earlier that can that makes good decisions on those loose balls. Sometimes at the high school level, man, the serving woes for both teams. Uncharacteristic serving errors from both Monroe and Hutchison High School. You know, it might be pressure, it might be fatigue, maybe a little mixture of both. You just don't see these teams make hitting errors like that, especially the ones that aren't trying to necessarily hit it really hard somewhere. You know, jump server that's trying to pepper a corner might hit it out of bounds here or there, but now Goforth starting to find her stroke a little bit, but Muramoto, who's having herself a game 3, doing great work there, and that one just kind of finds its way between 3 Monroe Rams. Ends up being Muramoto, the only one getting her hands on it. As you see that ball come back over. Sometimes when you get rotating there, you saw Campanelli running out of that spot. Sometimes just too much flashing around as that one gets lost. They're going to try it in the middle. Chloe goes inbounds right down the line directly in front of Mandragon. Strong hit as she will now check out as Leslie comes back in. So Nelson to serve. Nelson puts just go forth all the way back to the corner, so Russell will then just have to pump it over. It'll go to this side. Noel rolls it off the net. I have never, in all the region tournaments I've done, ever seen a net as loose as the net here at Delta High School. The thing is still shaking significantly right now. The officials, of course, check it, and I'm not an official, so I don't know how tight they're supposed to be, but this is how we set them up in my PE class. They're set up tighter than this. It's the same on both sides, but boy, we're seeing a lot of balls rolling funkily off the net because it's so loose. And that goes over as the two teams, bit of a rally here. Wayfield now. Jada fists it over there. It's going to be a long rally. Important point here at this juncture of the game, and it's going to go to the Monroe Rams. And you're going to get 4 hit called. It's not going to, this has got to go back because they didn't hit it 4 times, but they're going to call, the initial call is 4 hits on the Ram. I'm pretty sure I didn't lose count. I only saw 3. I don't know if they're going to go jump ball here or what on it, though, is the question. So the officials conferring at the stands here. Monroe's captain goes over. Hutch's captain goes over. Then they both come back. I'm not sure what the rules are. I don't know if it'd be an inadvertent whistle. Yeah, it's going to be a jump ball. Unlucky if you're a Rams fan. Unlucky if you're a Rams fan there because it was not 4. Those of you watching on YouTube, you can actually rewind YouTube Live if you want to go back and count them yourself. Just be sure to fast forward afterwards. But jump ball, a break for the Hawks, see if they can capitalize. And in basketball, we say the ball don't lie. You know, a bad foul call and you get missed free throws. In this case, volleyball is the exact same thing. The ball don't lie there, as that one's just got enough air, and the point goes to the Monroe Rams, which I think should have been theirs the play before. Anyways, all right, so now back to normal volleyball, and Russell and Edgerly kind of together there. Hutchison going to have to start getting better offense, but forget about offense, get yourself some defense as Jada Russell back in the picture blocking on that one, and watch her come down. Oh, the replay is just a touch short there. And that ball go long out the back, out to Miramoto, and over to Edgerly. Edgerly, back row to Lesko. Lesko, it's going to be off her hands and out. And we're going to have another conference between the officials. They've been warned, and so this is going to be interesting. They've been warned. What they're talking about is one of the Monroe fans is running over behind the Monroe Rams and shaking around and trying to distract the server. You can get a yellow card for that if your fans have been warned and you do it a second time. I'm not sure how much of the warning it was the first time, whether it was an official warning or if it was just a hey guys please knock it off. But we see the officials turning to that fan again. Again, if I could tell you all the things we used to do in 1999 to try to distract servers, you would have thought that was nothing, just some guy in a head back there. We made all kinds of noise to try to distract and mess with other servers and free throw shooters. But in 2018, there ain't and nothing that can distract. You may only cheer positively for your own team, and so it is. So the warning is only that. A second warning for the boys. I think they definitely don't want to do it again. And in this case, the ball played back over by Monroe. Very quickly, that ball tapped over by number 4, Noel, who's really been great for the Monroe Rams, has Pamela. And she'll take the serve here, 16-14. And Noel jump serve to the middle, bumped up. Bumps there, and Jada Russell, good strong hit, but played beautifully by Nelson. They'll try Miramoto with the right hand, strong hit, but played well by Bree Majors. Now we're gonna go Jada Russell, bumps it over as 2 Rams get together. Now the Rams don't communicate, and it's gonna be a point for the Hawks. Well, that was clean volleyball and not as clean volleyball. Both teams, 2 good clean hits, 2 good defensive plays, and then 1 bad defensive play for Hutch that gets lucky to go over, and a bad play for Monroe that ties him up. So Leslie now will try this side. Muramoto, she sent that way too long. And it's going to be actually, though long, it's off the hands of the blockers, so out of bounds on Hutchison High School. As Muramoto continues her just extreme presence, if nothing else. She's been all over this game. It says 16-16. Yeah, the score's wrong on your screen. It's 17-15 there. They got it right. And go forth. Not a good pass. Mandragon has to get it. Bree Majors will bump it over. Glad to see her bump it, not try to hit from back there. And now 10, Abigail Allen catches Jada Russell. Russell doesn't seem to be moving quite as well. See her kind of step back there. She's got a little bit of a grimace on her face as she's moving around. You see her on the bottom right of your screen, even kind of just, she walking a bit crooked, and you see Coach actually looked over and asked her if she was okay. If you're Russell, you got to be a little bit careful here that you don't want to just stay in the game to stay in the game. If you can't move well, Monroe gonna make you pay for it. In the meantime, 18-15, feeling pretty good if you're Monroe High School here currently. You've got the ball, you've got feeling a little bit of momentum on your hands. If you're Hutch, you haven't seen the likes of Mandragon here in a little bit. After in the middle of game 2 where she was just steering and hitting everything beautifully. The other thing you've not been seeing is Wayfield getting second hits. She hasn't been your main setter. I don't know if the passes maybe haven't been quite right or what. In the meantime, you've seen this girl plenty, Muramoto, for the Rams. And go for it. There's a pass to Wayfield, there's a pass to Mandragon, and there's a score. So there you have it. I mean, it's almost what I said Hutch hadn't done. They do, and there you go. I think you want to get that ball to Emily Wayfield. It's been it's an interesting tournament. Well, I'll get to the storyline of the Wayfield situation here in a minute. She's getting a lot more action than she usually would as setter. I'll tell you why in a second if we get this point. And Abigail Allen a second time on the left-hand side with her left hand sneaks it in there. What I was going to say about Emily Wayfield is there's 2 setters on the Hutchison team. There's also a freshman, Raven Drake, who's a setter. Raven Drake's also a swimmer, qualified for state, so she actually isn't at this tournament. So it's been all Emily Wayfield, which has been a positive thing in some ways for the Hawks, as she's just been a steady force. Now, Hal Brooks and Goforth get together. Mandragon not tricked there, but the ball back over. Great opportunity for Monroe, but they're just going to have to punch it. Let's see if they go back to Mandragon in the middle here. They do. Mandragon steers it down the net. It's Abigail Allen with a good save. Ball pumped up. Chloe again with it. They go back to Mandragon. Yes, they do. Mandragon hit, blocked by Chloe. That's okay. And Bree Majors content just to push that one over. A chance offensively for Monroe High School, and they get it done. Monroe High School number 9, De Leon, who's back in the game, elevates and hits it in. Monroe winning the race to 20 with a little bit of a cushion. You got to do it now. If you're Hutchison High School, you can see the energy level from the Monroe bench on your screen. Monroe's high right now. I think a kill here, you're going to really be stressing. Goforth's the decent person to do it, but they're just not getting strong hits. On the other side, it's going to be defense that's going to help as Mandragon blocks Chloe. Just a battle been raging in the middle of this court as Chloe and Mandragon been going at it for 2 days now. Mandragon the better of that. Wayfield, who's a strong server, big rallies yesterday. Opportunity, Mandragon, that's pumped up. Mandragon go outside to Goforth. Goforth gonna hit it hard, hit it into the ceiling. Hits it so hard it comes off of Nelson's hands up into the ceiling. Alyssa Goforth now heating up offensively. A couple good hits in a row for the senior for Hutch. Noel with it. Abigail Allen will try Chloe. Chloe's blocked partially. Strong hit by Chloe through the hands of the block by Mandragon, and no one there to scramble for Hutch. Goforth, you see, backing out of that one. I don't think that there's much you could have done on that one anyways, but Hutch, we've said it a couple times, needs to keep somebody underneath their blockers as well. If there's not 2 people going up, you need somebody to stay down. And that one just saved by Bree Majors. Great play. Going to go this side to Noel. Noel strong. Wayfield chasing. Halbrook's unable to chase it down, 22-18. And that's going to be a good timeout for McGee here. She's got to get this thing talked out. Monroe Rams pumped up. The place is really pumping if you're a Monroe's fan. Hutchison High School a little bit down body language-wise. These girls need to remember they're not out of this thing, not even this set. But there's a lot to go on here. So even if you just get yourself some clean play, you're going to be in really, really strong shape. So the place getting rocking here as you get a chance as well to send in your words of encouragement. It's 360-205-7905. You can send your text in and cheer on your team as well from home. So to serve is a dangerous Campanelli. Big jump serve right onto Goforth. Goforth try Wayfield. Wayfield has not had any success hitting it over on 2. Meanwhile, she's got to scramble now, and it's Bree Majors. Opportunity for the Rams. Oh, a bad hit by number 3. Brianna looks at her hands and looks at her teammates and goes, what is that? I haven't done that since junior high, she's thinking. And just didn't quite get the hands together. You don't need to get them all here if you're Mandragon, but I think if you're Hutch, you got to get a couple. You got to get about 2 or 3 here at least. It's another bad hit for the Rams. And Halbrooks makes them pay as the pass a touch long. It was the initial hit on the back row by number 3 who then causes Noel to send a long pass, and Halbrooks, Johnny on the spot to knock it down. There's better from Brianna. Now she can try. Noel on the outside. Free ball. Let's see who they set up here. They're going to go outside to Goforth. Goforth hit hard off the hands, and a point for Goforth. She might tell me different in class on Monday, but I think Goforth hitting from this left-hand side, maybe her stronger hitting side, because she's really found her stroke since they've been setting her on the left rather than the right. And those needed points I was telling you Hutch needed, here they came, 22-21. It's a little bit of a mirror somewhat of last game where we looked up and Hutch had kind of ran away, and right when they needed it most, Monroe came running back. Well, Monroe had kind of ran a few off on Hutch, and Hutch running back here a little bit. You're still in a situation where you don't want any mistakes from your team, but I was talking to some of the girls last night talking about when you get in competitive games like this, you do also have to hit to win. Sometimes we get like trying to play mistake-free also means non-winning basket for volleyball, and Chloe, I don't think she's done a full swing yet this game, but she's tall enough. She just kind of get up there, look around for the hole and find it, and it's been the center soft for Hutchison High School. You can't blame them because you got to play back against a hitter, but she's privy to it now. You wonder if they'll scoot up here. Bree Majors plays out, and it is out. Oh my goodness, the second time in a row, Bree Majors takes a 50-50 ball. She both says out and screams at it in hopes that the air from her mouth maybe blew it the inch that it went long. Bree now to the back line. Nelson bumps it. Chloe try the pump again, doesn't go this time. Jada Russell steers it, and that one's going to be in. And that's the lift is called on Monroe. So even though it goes down, doesn't matter. It's the point to Hutchison High School, 23-23. The next one to get 2 points. That's going to be the game. And that's short to Chloe. Miramoto had gone away, is back. And saved then by Wayfield it was. They're going to try backside with Noel. That's off the hands. Wayfield gets it. She'll go to Goforth. Goforth pushes it over. And Edwards, Miramoto, there's Chloe with it, and it sends it out of bounds. It's going to be game point for Hutch. Holy little run here. What a run for Hutchison High School, trading 6-1 on points. 6-1 on this latest little sets of serves here, and right when you were thinking a bit of get a couple of spirit points for Hutchison High School so they go into a game happy, all of a sudden they're trying to steal this one away. Would be quite the win for Hutchison High School. always interesting at these conference tournaments is the teams. You're seeing the other volleyball teams there. You just saw Galena cheering. They kind of start to choose their own teammates. You know, Galena and Hutchison usually kind of brother-sister school. So Galena will oftentimes pick up the Hutchison Hawks, Eielson sometimes picking up Monroe, and it changes year to year. It's an interesting situation, and Muramoto going to free ball to Bree. A chance to win the game for Jada Russell. Blocked by Edwards. That one is going to go just out. Oh, boy. What a big block. Boom, blocked hard, but dug nicely by Mandragon, and then the ball hanging in the air ends up just out of bounds. Woo! Going extra in this one as well. Now, who's going to get the advantage early? It's going to go out to Goforth. Goforth, push down the line. Not good there. Muramoto, nope, going to go Knoll on the other side. That's blocked. Edgerly unable to cling to it, and off the hands. And Hutchison again gets a block that is playable if you get somebody right underneath it, but there's nobody there. Pay dirt for the Rams. A good hit by Knoll, hard through the block. And Nelson now to Mandragon, a good set. Back to Russell. Russell over the top. Nelson, chance to win it for the Rams is Leslie. Yes, it's going to go. Leslie gets it just off the hands of the blockers. Bree Majors unable to get her hands to it. And boy, oh boy, it goes to the Rams. Game number 3. It's 2-1 now. The Monroe Rams on top. Man, we're going to take a break here for a second. Get ourselves something to drink. By the way, in case it happens, just do know that game number 5 is only to 15, or set number 5, set number 5 would be just to 15. And Hutchison's hoping to hear that later, as their backs against the wall, seasons against the wall, if they don't win this next set coming up. So the girls get reset, get a drink here. This will be an interesting storyline as well to look at, which is the Monroe Rams just finished their 6th game. So 6 games in the last, say, hour and about 2.5 hours. I don't know how much they practice. I don't know what their conditioning looks like, but at some point you're got to start thinking, man, we've played a lot of volleyball today. So within that context, that last game, you had someone we hadn't called a lot in the first 2, which was Muramoto, really carrying the Monroe Rams to that victory throughout the beginning. Late, it was Chloe Edwards, who you see is getting herself a snack on screen, as the Monroe Rams feeling pretty good. Now on the other side, Hutchison High School, you got to feel a little bit good about that little late in rally there. You were down and not looking to have the best body language, but boy, they climbed right back in. At one point, not only did they have a set point, but they had the ball on their side with a clean look at a spike, and it was Knoll saving the game for the Rams with a good clean dig on the backside. Extends things out, and off we go. Not to be unspoken, because I keep saying her name, but Pamela Knoll, what a good force she's been for the Rams throughout these 3 games. From the Hutchison High School side, it's kind of been a little bit of this and that and the other. You have Jada Russell going on real early. Alyssa Goforth in the last game's been good. Mandragon's had her spots. Wayfield's been there when she's been getting the passes. She's been good, but sometimes it seems that they're not getting them to her. So you're going to look at maybe somebody who can be the steadying force for those Hutchison Hawks, or who can just take over a game, as Muramoto took over for the last one. So Leslie, who hasn't done much in either game, gets the big game winner in that one. So good ups for the senior at 5. She's listed at 5'11". I think she's taller than that as well. So the senior there. So we'll see what we get here in game number 4. We're going to start off with our player just mentioned, is Knoll's going to start with the serve. And as Knoll gets it here, out the back line she goes, left-handed into Russell. Bree Majors on the back. There's Muramoto and Knoll. will come Campanelli. Campanelli's going to get things started the way she wants for the Monroe Rams. Campanelli, man, she can elevate. I don't know if she plays basketball, but she got some springs on that girl. So Knoll set to serve again. Bree Majors up to Mandragon. Mandragon off the hands. Not off the hands. Looked, came off high, so I thought maybe it came off the fingertips. Did not in this case, so just a long hit. And here's Knoll again to serve. Bree Majors again to Wayfield. Wayfield, tough time dealing with that one. That one goes into the block of Chloe. Chloe's hands, as she's turning to get it, she ends up hitting it down. She wishes she could have pulled her hands down in time just to get him out of the way as defense was set behind her, but not in that case. So now that one pushed a little bit far, so they're going to just set it over. Wayfield will just have to bump it back to the Rams. Now they'll try Chloe into the block of Mandragon, and the battle at the net continues, and Chloe gets the best of that one. Ball in to the blocker, but too strong. So checking into the game will be Lesko. Same rotations that you've seen all the other games. They start with Knoll and come to Lesko for second serve. I don't think either team necessarily thinking rotational change at this point. It's just players got to make plays. Mandragon, speaking of making plays, getting to the net, but that one's blocked by Chloe. Muramoto feeling it. She's feeling it. I talked about Russell looking springy in the first game. I'm telling you right now, Muramoto's got some pop in her step. As for Monroe, an early bout of points. Lesko must play basketball the way she dribbles the volleyball before her serve. She's going to come outside, I believe, to Goforth trying down the net, and into the net goes Goforth. Shades of what we saw in the earlier game. Can't have that happening if you're a Hutchison Hawks fan. Lesko again. The Majors, and that's in. That is in. Majors, ever the gambler. Gambles and loses that time. And timeout for the Hutchison Hawks here. I saw Coach McGee coming over. I thought McGee was going to argue that call, and it was clearly in. It was just misread there by Majors, and you're not going to be able to afford that. Two back-to-back errors from the Hutchison Hawks end up in 2 points and a 6-1 lead for the Monroe Rams. So again, for all of you tuning in on KDHS LP 95.5 FM from Delta Junction, that is the world's biggest little station. We appreciate you all watching. You can watch this game live if you're getting home from Saturday's work or running the groceries or hitting up the home improvement store. Go ahead and go over to kdhs.fm. That's a website. Or you can go to hhsstreamteam.com, also a website. Or you can go to Facebook, and you can find this game being streamed live. We got 4 cameras, instant replay, graphics, text-in graphics, split-screen graphics. We're basically ESPN. So you talk about biggest little station, well, that's us. And now we're going to try Wayfield, going to try Goforth. Goforth does well with that one into Knoll. Off the hands of the block, Knoll just puts a hand up, but there's a good hit by Goforth. And 2-6 now, things get steadied out. So Mandragon is put a couple of those points in that late run last game, the last set. I keep calling it game. I've been informed it's sets and matches. I don't know. I'm just a teacher. And Chloe, speaking of teaching how to put it down as she gets one laid out right in front of her. And when they do that, when they set net in front of Chloe, and maybe it's not as much where the set is as much as Chloe backs up a little bit, boy, she can really wing it when she steps back some. Now, Bree Majors, not a great hit there, so Mandragon gets it, and Russell will just send it over free. A chance for Monroe to continue offensively. Muramoto will do just that as she, again, I'm telling you, if she's scored 7 points in the last 2 games, 6 of the 7 have hit the net on their way over. She is just really dialed in to this court, the net, and how to hit it, and it just makes it next to impossible. Aside from getting blocked, it's next to impossible for the defense to adjust to these things because they just come off the net different each time. And so we're going to go into the middle to Russell. Russell try to go on. The soft spot that's on the Hutchison defense is not present on the Monroe defense as they keep pushing the ball to the center of Monroe, and Monroe keeps digging it up and getting hard offensive hits back, as you see again from Muramoto. Strong hit. The dig goes too far into the net, and Goforth unable to do anything with it. Nelson then handcuffs Russell. Russell into the net. Goforth will play that one again. Soft spot covered well by Lesko and company. And Halbrook's not on her toe. Well, Bree Major's not a good hit, and Halbrook's not on her toes enough to recover it. 9-2, you got trouble. If you're a Hawks fan, you have got to stop the bleeding now. But Nelson, super confident at the line here. Happy picking her point, picks Bree Majors up into her nose. Goforth going to try hit backline to Lesko. Lesko can't get a hand on it, and temporarily the Hutchison Hawks stop that bleeding, and we'll go 10-3, a 7-point lead. But if you get out of touch with this Monroe Rams team, especially with the number of fans they got in the stand, you're going to have a long uphill battle as Knoll, that ball maybe going out, saves it anyways. Nelson pumps it over. Bree Majors gets it. Wayfield going to go outside to Goforth, feeding the seniors. Seniors feeding them back as she finds that almost same spot, this time with a little more authority on the back line, right past Lesko, and in. Another point for Goforth. Bree Majors, good spot server, not necessarily hard, but puts it exactly where coach wants it, and Lesko's where she wanted it. Oh, good play from both Muramoto and Campanelli. Chases that one into the second row. So now Monroe with a chance with Leslie. Leslie hard down the back line. And I'll tell you, Hutch will be in trouble, but so will Valdez if Madeline Leslie really gets going. She's a tall, athletic player for the Rams. And if you can start teaming her and Chloe together, you're going to have problems no matter the team you are. Campanelli, speaking of athletic players, big jump serve is strong. Bree Majors, though, what played well. Go outside to Edgerly. Edgerly does not get her feet set behind her, hits it into the net. The airs for Hutchison High School and the strong offensive play from Monroe High School, absolutely all part of this 8-point lead for them. Campanelli then will try Majors, and Majors is between Majors and Goforth. Majors call for it. Goforth slid out, and we're going to need another timeout if you're Coach McGee, as Hutchison has to make a decision here on how exactly they want to respond to this Monroe onslaught. When I talked earlier about teams winning and or losing, this is almost what we were talking about, where Monroe is just, when they have it, taking full advantage, full swinging hits, clean defensive plays, and Monroe well deserving of this 13-4 lead, and Hutchison on the other side making more unforced errors, or some uncharacteristic, that is, errors. You know, this last game, or yesterday when these two teams played, about a pretty good repeat of what you just saw, which is this is tightly contested game number 3, and the winner of game number 3 came out in game number 4 with a lot of momentum and just pump. Yesterday it was Hutchison High School. They won, in overtime that game number 3, and they came out popping and running and spiking, and they ran away with game number 4 a little bit, at least got it out of reach before Monroe could climb back. Monroe having potentially done this mirror image of that today, winning 3 and having the better pop here so far in 4. But we'll try Russell. Russell off the top, and Allen unable to track down on that. That's that same, we've seen that before, which is the hand comes off of the blockers. If you watch college volleyball, you'll see somebody, usually a short kind of libero type person, planted right underneath your blocker, trying to make that, or just for that kind of play. And this kind of play is the kind of thing Hutch are going to need if they want to climb back in, which is a spinning ball from Goforth, spinning off the hands of Allen. And they're going to try her again. This time he sails a little bit long to Lesko. Muramoto, that's free to Wayfield to Russell. Russell, good hit off the hands of the blocking Leslie, just off the right side hands, and that one is in. And the score is actually wrong on your screen. It's 7 13. I'll try to keep you abreast of that as they get that fix, and she's going to go ace number 2. 2 aces in one setup here, as you're going to get a immediate substitution. I think they're not liking Allen in there, so they're going to put Noel. That's what they do. I thought Noel already had a substitute, but I suppose not. They substitute Allen for Noel. Goforth tries her anyways, and Noel says, no thanks. It's not going to go quite the same as it was going. Mandragon, another set sent over on 2 for Hutch. Has not been going well for them. And Majors is going to go ahead and track that one down, but a free ball for Monroe, keeping their winning ways. And too many hands getting on that one as it's bumped up and out of reach. So immediately a good substitution by Obermeyer as he gets Noel in the game. Not only does she stifle the initial serve of Goforth, but ends up putting down the ultimate kill after a little bit of a rally, a volley that is. So Muramoto will now step to the line. 6-point lead, carved in a little bit if you were Hutch. Want to take more than that to get really nervous if you're Monroe. And that one's going to go off. I'm pretty sure the antenna is out no matter what side it hits. The officials, whose point is it? No kidding. I never heard this before. The ball hits the antenna. The ball hits the antenna. I believe the antenna is out. If it hits the antenna, I think it's out, but in this case, she's saying that it hit the inside of the antenna. And the inside, now the antenna is about no bigger around than your pinky. And so I don't know how you determine inside or outside of an antenna, but that's what's getting explained over here. The downs judge, which you see there talking to Coach Obermeyer, is not talking confidently, talking a little bit more sheepishly. And so, and you know what she's doing? She's actually, she's awarding the point. I thought we might get another one of those jump balls, but you don't. I think that's not, is that 9? I don't know. 14-9 now. Okay. That one is different. That's twice now Monroe not necessarily getting the better end of the deal on those calls. One was at least a jump ball, and we said it last time, the ball doesn't really lie, I think, as it is. Pumped over, I think that was Noel hitting it and finding that back corner. And we have Majors. Okay, Leslie to the line now, 6-point lead, 10 points to go for the Monroe Rams to keep their season alive, qualify for state and for the conference championship. And Goforth there. 3 Majors and company stare at each other. And offensive opportunity for the Rams. They're going to try number 9. That's going to be bumped up by Goforth, and Goforth gets it back from Majors. He'll send that over. Another offensive opportunity for the Rams. They're going to go outside to Noel, and that's going to be too late for the Hutchison Hawks. I can tell you, between the two teams, it's actually Hutch that looks to have tired her legs a little bit planted into the ground. The old Valdez coach back in the day used to call timeouts and make her girls run. They would run sideline to sideline to wake their legs up is what they did. Now we finally see Wayfield getting a second hit, though it's one that she has to chase way down. Hutch going to get a little bit lucky here to get a good offensive opportunity. Edgerly on the outside. That's blocked, though, and no one there to save the block. Going against a double block like that, Chloe and company. Now Mandragon was over there, but Mandragon is not necessarily the player that you want down underneath. She's too tall to be kind of down there bumping up balls like that. Now Wayfield again having to scramble to find a set. They just have to get the first pass better, but the serves of Monroe have been too strong for the back row to handle. There's another set over the net, not fooling the Rams, and Noel was going to go to work, and Noel goes to work onto Bree Majors and off the back. As you are feeling uber confident, the Monroe Rams look to be in sync. when they're given the opportunity, are capitalizing and finishing. And if Hutch doesn't get a kill on Leslie's serve here, she gets a break as she kills her own. As Monroe on all cylinders, the momentum of the big Game 3 win carrying over here for them. Just have looked good positioning, covering each other, communicating, and looking strong. Chloe Edwards gets blocked by Mandragon. Just a fun battle going down there. Number 9 back to Goforth. Mandragon will pick it up. We'll go try Hal Brooks. Hal Brooks straight into the net for the freshman who's not had a stellar game herself. And so for Knoll to hit jump serve back row. Jada Russell not controlling it. Bree Majors unable to track it down. The race to 20 will be won by Monroe, and this is a daunting task for Hutchison Hawks. Need 15 before they need 5. You're going to need it now and in buckets, but Knoll is at the line. And I almost said you could almost feel an ace coming on. She has been so good. I don't know why she would stop, and she does not disappoint me or the Monroe fans as she aces right in the front of Russell. The back line there, Majors, you see step over, but Majors doesn't get a good pass either. Now as Halbrooks actually saves the day on that one as Hutch continues to scramble offensively. And on the other side, a strong hit from Campanelli on the outside. Mandragon will try. Mandragon strong into Knoll, who's equal to the task. And then the two Monroe players get together on that one. One of the few alignments and miscues that we've seen from the Monroe Rams. And that's how you get a 10-point lead, is having few of those. Wayfield is going to send back line. That's going to be in. An ace for Wayfield. 2-1 on points isn't going to do it, though. You got to get at least 3 or 4-1 on points if you're going to even get within striking distance on this. Wayfield is a rally server for the Hutchison Hawks, though. At least has been this tournament. It's been a good rotation for them. Mandragon going to steer that one over. There's nothing there in the center. They keep trying soft sets in the center. It's not been there. Now you're going to get 4 hits and a lift. So you're getting 3-1 on your money here if you're a Hutchison Hawks fan. 4-1 is not going to happen. Sends it short. Not going to happen. That one, she trying to dink that one in. I see why she was trying to do it. If it carries another foot, it's going to send Monroe into a lot of scrambling volleyball, but it doesn't. It's short, and 3 points needed from Lesko for Monroe to continue what has been a great Saturday for them, beating Delta, trying to close out on Hutch, and then they'll be taking on Valdez immediately following this one, and by immediate, I mean like 20 minutes from now, and that's the way it's looking because they are really clicking. Goforth puts a good swing on it, but the blockers just all over it. Two blockers there, both Campanelli with the hops and Chloe, not sure who got it. Doesn't much matter because it points to Hutch. 3 majors, free ball to Monroe. Opportunity here. Knoll will set up Muramoto. She hits the net. Nobody's surprised. It spins off. Gonna get a lift call, not a lift call. On Goforth, who elevated a little bit early, had to hit it again. Goforth's the senior. I'm sure she's hoping that that's not her last senior swing. And Mandragon gonna be free to Hutch. Gotta do something with it if you're a Hawks fan. Nothing free. Jada Russell's good hit, but Lesko, great back row play. Campanelli tried to finish. No, yes, would have gone out. Well, it might have gone out. I think the hit of Campanelli goes into the blocker, would have rolled out, but Campanelli, just on instinct, reaches down and hits it up. Can't blame her. Mandragon gonna have to get, I say if you don't get to 20, you're out of trouble. You're in big trouble. Russell, played beautifully on the back row. Nelson, what a good fast hands. Get that one up. We're gonna let Russell try to finish it again. This time she does. It's a tipped. The initial call was in, it was not in, it was out, but it was tipped. So the mini streak continues for Hutch, but it's not going to be a mini one that's going to get them home. It's going to have to be a major streak for Hutch. There is a little bit of pop and a little bit of energy there, though. And sometimes we see this, especially with young athletes. Things, when it comes desperation, you can either give up or you just kind of get into whatever it doesn't matter mode, and all of a sudden you start playing a little bit better. If you want to get any final words in for any of the players, you see the number on your screen, 360-205-7905. That's the number. You can send that message in. We'll get it up on the upcoming, on this stream. There's maybe not a lot of time left in this one. Certainly if you're a Monroe Ram fan, you're hoping there's not a lot of time left. If you're a Hutchison fan, you're hoping that there's a big story yet to come. It's going to start with a Mandragon serve. Knoll sets well. Campanelli just have to pump it over. Wayfield has just not been getting sets. Mainly she's getting a lot of first hits. Sprawling Monroe players. Miramoto gets blocked. What? Good. Unfortunately, number 4, number 6, Knoll and Campanelli had been sprawling after the initial ball that came over. They got tangled up on the floor, so by the time Monroe scrambles a second time, they're still tied up. You see them down there, see them get tripped up with each other, and when that block comes off, they're not in position. Got to get back out of the replay as we're back into the action here. This one go forth, gonna push it over. Miramoto saves it, gonna get a lift or a double hit. They're called. That one tricked Knoll. Miramoto goes down, pancakes it up, but has to spin it out. And 18-23. Starting to get a little excited. Starting to see Sophia Talberg there. She's feeling a little better. Statistician and player for the Hutchison Hawks. That's just Sophia Berg, not Talberg, I'm sorry. As Obermeyer calls one of his kind of standard timeouts, which is he just calls the timeouts for his girls, not necessarily to talk to them about anything, but maybe to try to ice the server down or make Coach McGee talk to her girls too much. Seen Obermeyer do that a couple times this game, or not this game, but this tournament, where he calls the girls over and he just lets them settle themselves down. Like that as a coach, I have a tendency to overtalk, which is I guess why I always get asked to do broadcasting. So 18-23, Mandragon set to serve here. Gonna go back row, bumped up to the middle. Chloe, who hasn't called her name much, will go Halbrooks now. That's an interesting second hitter. No soft spot for Monroe, as we already know. Miramoto, that one doesn't hit the net, but saved by Mandragon. Goforth's gonna have to send it over. Nelson, Knoll, Miramoto off the hands. Bree Majors, could she get it up? Nope. Couldn't get it up enough. A good hit for Miramoto. I'm having a hard time thinking in my head here, player of the game. I mean, you're certainly late. Just been talking so much about Miramoto. She surprised me because she wasn't as present last time these two teams met. But boy, has she been good here. And Knoll's been great as well. We're gonna go forth over to the corner. Knoll's gonna try to finish things off. Is Leslie, not this time. Wayfield gonna let Russell try to get them staying alive. Not this time. Miramoto to finish. Nope, hit the net. Goforth pushes over and go out middle again. Let Leslie try again. It's just been too much offense for Monroe, and it's going to be too good as Leslie gets it done. The end of a run for Hutchison. The underdogs end up just slightly under. It was a great little run for their tournament, but it's not going to happen. We see Goforth on screen. It's going to be her last tournament. She's a great volleyball player, been a stable force for Hutchison High School. Certainly nothing to be ashamed of as she carried her team through this tournament. On the other side, Monroe High School, what a nice run for them. Big day continues. Now 7 games in, and they've got at least 3 more coming up as they got to take on the Valdez Buccaneers here at 4 o'clock. Again, we appreciate you all tuning in on KDHS LP 95.5 FM. Players of the game, because I got to give them out, and I never give co-players of the game because, you know, not everybody should get a ribbon. We're going to go with Pamela Knoll. Her serves were strong. She was all over. She was setting well, and she stabled things out. Pamela Knoll, the sophomore 5'6", is the player of the game. I'm going to get myself out of here, but don't go anywhere yet, as we've had our team down working, taking photographs throughout this game. And we're going to leave you here with a photo slideshow courtesy of Sophia Squires and the Delta and Hutchison teams. So enjoy the photo slideshow, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes for the championship game.